It's time to put yourself first and get the figure you've always wanted with laser liposuction and body sculpting from CMA, Comprehensive Medical Aesthetics. Dr. Rudolph Moise and his experienced staff can transform you in one simple in-office procedure. Localized anesthesia, minimal discomfort, faster recovery. Call CMA today and schedule your free consultation. 786-746-6464. Visit cmaesthetic.com. Begin your transformation. Call CMA today.
At the point I'm in now, I'm looking forward to the playoffs and the opportunity to race for a championship that way, right? So, I don't know. I've not been leading going into the playoffs to really have a strong feeling one way or the other, I guess.
And then you kind of addressed it earlier, but 5 playoff points to win the race, maybe 2 more for the 2 stage wins. Do you kind of view this race as, is it binary for you? It's either put ourselves in the position to win the race, get the 5, or because people are trying to survive, that's a chance to get the 2, and then it's 2 versus 5?
Yeah, we talked about that in our meeting this week at the shop, and, you look at the cautions in this race, and you look at how many finish this race, and it's not near as many as, other speedway races, it seems like. So, but again, like kind of what I said earlier is I feel like there's a lot of guys that know that they have to make it to the end of the race to have an opportunity to, make the playoffs, right? So I'm hoping that gives us a way to, kind of get some track position, stay up front, battle for those stage wins, and, 7 points will go a long ways for us, in the round of 16 and so on. So, for me, that's really what we're focused on, and I hope that's how it plays out, that, it won't be so chaotic at the end of those stages, and, we're battling for those stage wins and then ultimately the win at the end of the day.
Lee
Spencer, CatchFence.com. I'm thinking you're looking at the first 2 rounds and you're saying, I can definitely win at Bristol, I can definitely win at Talladega, and if, the stars align, you move on to the round of 8. I mean, you think that those are your 2 best shots?
Yeah, I think, going into the first round, I really like all the racetracks. Love Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. I still feel like we've been so close at Bristol so many times. Would love to get my first win there this year, and then obviously move on. So, for me, I'm focused on the first round. I did not know Talladega was in the second round. Honestly, I have no idea what's in the second round. But, for us, just really kind of honed in on Darlington right now. I feel good about where our car is for Daytona. So, my guys have been, kind of looking at Darlington this week and, trying to prepare for that. We were good at Darlington, earlier in the year. We had a kind of misfortune with a flat left rear tire that we lost time under green, pitting. So just, man, I feel really good about where we are as a team. I don't think we have to win in that first round to make it through by any means. So we'll go do our job each and every week and try and be perfect and let others make mistakes, to move on through that round.
We're going to come up here to Holly.
Hey, Rickey, Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. This kind of goes right along into that. Where do you feel like your team is now? I mean, you got your wins so early in the season. Now to actually, how these months later, have the playoffs starting, how do you feel like you guys are?
Yeah, it's going to be real in a week, right? So, or I should say, after tomorrow, it's real. I feel like we've grown a lot as a team. We've gotten better at certain areas, of our race team throughout the year, and really kind of things have stuck out where we need to be better, and I feel like we've corrected some of that. I still feel like we have some issues that we are still working on and trying to clean up, and some of that's me as a race car driver, getting to pit road, things on pit road, some race strategy calls that we've probably been a little bit off on, and then car speed, we've struggled at on some racetracks, but I like the information that we have and the things that we've learned lately, and feel like that'll put us in a good spot going forward, but but I like where we are. But yeah, it's real now. We've made the playoffs, and we got one more kind of relaxed, kind of freebie race, and then it's game time.
All right, we're going to go back here to Greg and then back there.
Hey, Greg. We talked a couple weeks ago on the podcast about this very thing. To follow up on that, Greg with Forbes. Yeah, I wasn't drinking today. But you were on the podcast. We were talking about that, and thanks very much for taking the time out for that. But you were talking about having that relaxed attitude, and this is really the last race for that. Have you guys started to kind of sort of pivot and get ready to kind of have that different kind of attitude and get that more serious, or is it going to be when you hit the ground at Darlington?
Well, I mean, we're serious every week. It's just, the reality is next week is, everything matters. When we have a bad Saturday, it matters. We've had some bad Saturdays as far as qualifying goes, and it's set us back, but it hasn't been super detrimental. I think a bad Saturday in the playoffs is difficult to overcome, and so. I think for us, it's we know that there's no mulligans. Once we start next week, and we're done with the driving range. We're done goofing off. So we'll step up on the first tee next week, and make sure that we're ready to go.
And obviously you want to go all the way. You want to that's it. You want to go all the way. But realistically, how deep would you be satisfied to go, or is that off the table? It's all or nothing.
No, it's not all or nothing. I think for me, even if just say we were eliminated in the first round, we could still finish fifth in points, right? So there's a ton left to race for, no matter what happens in the first round. And I think for us in 2017. We finished 11th in points, had a really good shot at finishing 9th in points after getting eliminated in the third round, I believe. So, for us, there's a lot to race for no matter what happens in that first round.
Thank you, Rickey.
All right, we're going to go back there and then up to Reed.
Caleb Bussell, SpeedwayDigest.com. Rickey, this is the first time since February when you won the 500 that you're coming back to Daytona. What are the emotions like? You're back in the media center for the first time since that winning press conference. Excuse me.
It was a lot more fun coming back in here after that.
But what is that like to come back here after that big win?
Yeah, it's been special. Our pilot Jim got to let us fly over the track. We did a circle around the track before we landed. That was pretty cool. And then going over the museum, seeing the car, in there, checking all the things out in there was special. And then unveiling our Walk of Fame there, out in front of the museum. This race is so big, right? When you win the 500 and you do a lot of things throughout the season, based off of winning this, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed every second of it. Being able to promote our team, promote our win, promote the sport, and for me, it doesn't get old. And so for me, it's been nice just to come in here, kind of take it all in, look around. Walk through the garage. It was so chaotic, after the race, and you're trying to celebrate. You're trying to somewhat get some sleep, knowing you got to get up the next morning early. So it's been nice to just kind of come in here and know that you accomplished something great as a race team, and now that's over, we can try and get another one.
All right, let's go up to Reed, and then if we have time, we'll get you up here.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Obviously, you've got incentive to win this race, to win the stages. You got points on the line, and also a rare sweep, which hasn't been done all that many times. But can you allow yourself an awareness of what's going on around you and trying not to affect who gets in the playoff and who doesn't?
That's definitely something that you think about. You don't want to be the reason somebody gets in over somebody else, right? So unless that, and is taking a win away from somebody. So, points wise and other cars, you definitely will, or at least I will, be a little more cautious around some of those cars that are, right there on the cutoff line for points. Some Chevy guys are racing for, wins. You got buddies that are trying to, make the playoffs and things like that. So you try and be respectful of those guys, but know that, we still have a job to do and try and, take some points away from other people as well.
Thank you.
All right, last question right up here.
Mike Brodsky, Florida National News. Rickey, following up on your mention about the Walk of Fame, how did it feel putting your hands and feet in the concrete, and what does it mean to you personally to be part of that Walk of Fame here at Daytona?
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never, I don't think at any construction sites I've ever put my hands or feet in concrete. I don't think I've done that as a kid. But no, that was really cool. And then, I'd say it gets more real every time, something happens, or, you go into the museum and, see your face on the wall there with all the other winners of the Daytona 500, and knowing that's going to stay there. And, just like the Walk of Fame out there, to know that that's going to be there, I guess until they decide to tear it up, is really special. And that's, I feel like that's what the Daytona 500 is, right? It's something that, sticks with you in your career, for the longevity of it. And, I think no other race does that, and except for winning a championship in the sport. And so that was one that we're super proud of, and but that's also what makes it so important and so special to everybody. And so for me, I'm glad that we accomplished that already, and now coming back to Daytona more relaxed but also more confident is something that's nice to go along with it as well.
Great. Thanks, Rickey.
One of the things I love about Bass Pro is they have 3 great ways to shop. You can head into one of their awesome stores, visit BassPro.com, or get great gear from that catalog Johnny Morris sends out. Hi, here's your package. Bass Pro Shops, where commitment, passion, and the great outdoors all come together. Why would you shop anywhere else?